How to transform your life with positive thinking. There once was a young man named Elias. Elias lived in a quiet town surrounded by rolling hills and open skies. From the outside, his life looked peaceful. He had a small home, steady work, and people who cared for him. But inside, Elias carried a storm. He often felt stuck. No matter how hard he worked, he saw only problems. Bills weighed on him. His dreams felt too far away. Whenever he tried something new, a voice inside whispered, "You can't do it. You will fail." This voice grew louder each day. Elias began to believe it. He walked with heavy steps, his shoulders bent as though carrying invisible stones. The light in his eyes dimmed, and yet, deep in his heart, Elias longed for change. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, painting the sky in gold and purple, Elias sat by the river. He watched the water flow endlessly, calm yet strong. He whispered, almost like a prayer, "Why is life so hard for me? Why can't I see hope the way others do?" At that moment, an old man appeared on the riverbank. He wore simple clothes and carried a staff. His hair was silver, his face lined with years, but his eyes shone like the morning star. The old man sat beside Elias without a word. For a while they both watched the river in silence. Finally, the old man spoke. "Tell me, young man, what do you see when you look at this water?" Elias frowned. "I see a river, nothing more." The old man smiled. "I see the same river, but I also see a path. A river never asks, 'Why is there a stone in my way?' It simply flows, over, under, around, always forward, always finding a way. Life is the same." Elias shook his head. "That's easy to say, but I feel trapped. Problems surround me, my thoughts. They drown me." The old man looked deeply into his eyes. "You are not drowning because of the river," he said softly. "You are drowning because of the weight you carry inside your mind. Your thoughts are like stones. One by one, you place them in your pockets. Soon, even shallow water feels impossible to cross." Elias felt his chest tighten. The words struck him with truth. The old man then reached into his satchel and pulled out a small, empty glass jar. He handed it to Elias. "Tomorrow, take this jar," he said. "Every time a negative thought enters your mind, place a small stone inside it. At the end of the day, bring it back to me." Elias nodded, though unsure of the purpose. The next day, he followed the instruction. When he woke, he thought, "I don't want to face today. It will only be hard." He placed a stone in the jar. When he looked in the mirror, he sighed, "I'm not good enough." Another stone. When he struggled at work, he muttered, "I will never get ahead." Another stone. By nightfall, the jar was nearly full. Elias carried it to the riverbank, where the old man waited. The jar felt heavy in his hands. He set it down with a thud. The old man looked at the jar and then at Elias. "This," he said, "is why you feel so heavy inside. These are not just stones. These are your thoughts, and you carry them every moment, even when no jar is in your hand." Elias lowered his eyes. "But what can I do? I can't stop the thoughts." The old man nodded kindly. "You cannot stop birds from flying overhead, but you can stop them from building nests in your hair. The same is true with thoughts. You cannot stop them from passing through your mind, but you can choose which ones you let stay." He then gave Elias another empty jar. "This time," he said, "for every negative thought, still place a stone. But also, for every positive thought, place a flower, a leaf, or even a drop of clear water. Return to me tomorrow." Elias tried again. The next morning the same voice whispered, Life is too hard. He placed a stone, but then he looked outside and saw the sunrise spilling golden light across the hills. For the first time he thought, "That is beautiful. Maybe today can hold something good." He placed a flower in the jar. At work, he stumbled and almost fell. The old voice mocked him. "You are clumsy." He placed a stone, but he caught himself and laughed. "At least I didn't fall all the way. I'm still standing." He placed a leaf in the jar. All day, the pattern continued. Stone, flower, stone, leaf. By nightfall, the jar was no longer heavy. It was balanced. The colors of nature mingled with the dull weight of the stones. When Elias showed the old man, the elder smiled. "Do you see? Life is not the absence of struggle. The river still carries stones, but when you add beauty, hope, and gratitude, the weight changes. The river flows more freely." Tears welled in Elias's eyes. For years, he had let only the stones define his life. Now, for the first time, he saw he had a choice. From then on, Elias practiced. Each day he noticed his thoughts. The negative ones still came, but he did not hold them as tightly. Instead, he chose to see good. He chose to place flowers where once there were only stones. Slowly, the heaviness in his steps lifted. His shoulders straightened. His eyes regained their light. One evening, weeks later, Elias returned to the riverbank. The old man was waiting. Elias bowed his head in gratitude. "You have given me a gift that changed my life. How can I ever repay you?" The old man pointed to the flowing water. "Share the river. When others feel trapped by stones, remind them they can add flowers. That is how you repay me." Elias promised he would. And so, Elias became a quiet light in his town. When he saw others burdened by their own invisible stones, he shared his story. He taught them to balance their jars with beauty, hope, and gratitude. The storm inside him had become a river of strength. And through positive thinking, Elias transformed not only his own life, but also the lives of many around him. Dear friends, the story of Elias teaches us a timeless truth. We cannot always control the challenges we face, but we can control the way we see them. Negative thoughts are like stones that weigh us down. Positive thoughts are like flowers that bring balance and lightness. When we choose to see hope, gratitude, and beauty, we transform the weight of our journey. And in doing so, we transform our lives. So, as you move through your own days, remember Elias and his jar. When the stones come, do not despair. Add your flowers. Add your leaves. Add your light. Your life will change. And with each step, you will walk lighter, brighter, and freer. Thank you for joining us today on Finance Compass. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can spread hope, wisdom, and inspiration to many more. Until next time, may your days be filled with light, and may your river flow gently forward, carrying you toward peace and joy.